Do you enjoy playing in backgammon tournaments? If so, the 50th Michigan Summer Backgammon Championships, July 2nd through the 6th, 2025, is one you won't want to miss. And I have the organizer, my good friend Ben Friesen, who joins me in this video to discuss it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on it. If you love backgammon, you can become a member of this channel, giving you exclusive access to the most popular videos. My book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description to where you can get it. And if you're interested in the lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is also in the description. Again, in this video, it's my great pleasure to welcome back my good friend, Ben Friesen. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, doing great, doing great. It's a good day for backgammon and good day to be traveling. I'm in Tokyo, so exploring the world here.
Yeah, you're joining us from Japan. I understand you're going to be at the upcoming Japan Open as we're recording this.
Yeah, yeah, it starts tomorrow, and hopefully by the time people watch it, they'll know that I already won the Japan
You won the
Open.
tournament. That's right. That's right. Have you been to Japan before?
No, first time, first
Oh,
time.
great. I heard
Yeah,
it's really nice. It's really clean. The people are nice. People tell me really good things about it.
I've always heard that, but seeing it is a whole nother level. Just everything you will see is so clean. You can't even describe it.
And I think from a backgammon perspective, the backgammon players that I've known, that I do know, that I've seen from Japan are so professional. I mean, they never get upset when they roll bad dice or anything like that.
Yeah. This would be a really nice tournament. Just have fun playing backgammon, not worry too much about anything else. And yeah, I'm excited.
Good, good. And you recently had the outstanding cherry blossom tournament, and that was fantastic. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We had 150 players, and just had a great time. People really enjoyed it. Hope to see everybody at that or Michigan or Denver because we really put on a good show.
You do an outstanding job. I particularly really enjoyed watching the live stream. It was just like fantastic. The board, the video quality, the players that were playing, the commentators, everything was fantastic. You do a great job.
Yeah, I got to give a big shout out to Andy. She just does an amazing stream, and while she's also managing recording a bunch of people's matches the whole weekend. So yeah, really thankful for her.
And there was also a tournament that was running concurrently in Greece, right? But you managed to get such a big turnout. That was like the World Team Championships. But
Yeah, yeah. I think we would have had 20 more people without the World Team Championship going on, but we still managed to almost match our numbers from last year. So it was great.
I think you got a lot of exposure because of the live stream. I understand there were some technical difficulties in Greece, so they couldn't do like a live stream. So I was just watching Cherry Blossom.
Oh, I didn't even realize that in the moment. I'm so focused on what's in front of me. I didn't realize that there wasn't much of a stream coming out of Greece.
I think they subsequently uploaded the videos, but it wasn't the same live.
Interesting. Wow, I didn't realize that.
And I remember when I first started doing the live streams in LA, you were the one that was really doing it, and I was helping you. So you helped me a lot. I appreciate that. And one of the things I was going to mention about live streams, we'll probably talk about the live stream at the Michigan tournament, but one thing that I really enjoy about live streaming is that it's different from watching it pre-recorded because you can actually interact in the live chat with the other viewers, with the commentators. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy that as well. And people talking about what plays they would make, and it's this just raw opinion where they can't have looked it up. Like there's nothing they could know ahead of time. Yeah, it's really fun.
I feel like it makes it more interactive. It adds another dimension, and it makes it feel like the viewers are actually at the tournament when they see that, and they're able to say these kinds of things. And I think that it does a lot to promote the tournament in subsequent years.
Yeah, that's why actually we do the streaming. I mean, if you think about it from a purely logical perspective, what am I doing? I'm streaming for people who aren't attending the tournament. I'm not getting any revenue out of it, but in fact, it does give people that view into what the tournament's like and encourages them to come the next year. And so that's why we do it, is we want people to see that we're having fun and that they should join us. So yeah.
I think Yeah, I think having the tournaments themselves, promoting them on the live streams are great ways to promote backgammon. That's one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel because backgammon, as you know, is a visual game. It's a lot of fun. So people can watch it, people can play, and the interactivity is fantastic. The commentators, and especially when you have like the top players, you had a lot of top players on the stream. People enjoy
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we really did. We had a great turnout.
So great. In this video, we're going to be talking about the Michigan Summer Championships. So, for those that are not familiar with the Michigan Summer Championships, it's been running for a very long time. Tell us a little bit about the history of this.
Yeah, so the Michigan Summer Backgammon Championships started 50 years ago, and actually, I don't remember who started it first. That's the funny thing. Even growing up in Michigan, I've always just known it as Carol Joy Cole's tournament. But there was somebody who ran it a few years, and then Carol took over, and Carol's been running it for more than 40 years. I don't remember exactly, but last year, or well, 2 years ago, she said, "Hey Ben, you're doing a great job with the tournaments you run, and I'm ready to hang up my hat. So, do you want to take over Michigan?" And I thought, absolutely. I mean, this was my hometown tournament, even though I don't live in Michigan now. It's still kind of I mean, it's where I grew up, was Flint, Michigan. And so I actually kind of looked around, tried to figure out who could help me. Fortunately, Butch and Marianne are going to stay on at least for this year, and we'll see for future years because they just have been a key part of that tournament. But we've been at the Novi Sheraton Hotel for a long time, and it's just a great venue. It's a great time of year, the 4th of July, and we've just built up an amazing following. I think last year we had about 180 players, and so we'll just keep building from there. I hope.
The Michigan tournament has had a long tradition of having one of the best turnouts of the ABT calendar year after year for decades. And a lot of it has to do with Carol.
I think so too. She really does an amazing job creating the hospitality, creating a friendly environment, great trophies. I've got big shoes to fill this year for sure.
We'll get to that in a moment, and maybe you can say a word about Carol. I know she's there on the website. There was a retirement event last year, so we can discuss that in a moment. Okay, so this is the website for the Michigan Summer Backgammon Championships, which has always been held on the 4th of July, the Independence Day holiday weekend. This year it's going to be July 2nd through the 6th, 2025. And as you said, the Sheraton Detroit Novi Hotel, which is I understand it's a suburb of Detroit. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, it's about, I don't know, 40 minutes from the airport. And funny enough, downtown Detroit is also about 40 minutes from the airport. We kind of make a triangle with it, but it's easy to get to, and it's well. There's lots of things around. There's groceries. There's food. It's a great walkable tournament location for the players.
Great. So we'll do a walkthrough of the website here. I'll put the link in the description, but people can click on the registration and to book a hotel, to see the brochure, and we're going to see the schedule in a moment. But here, this is what we were talking about, celebrating 50 years of Carol Joy Cole. Let's just do it there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Carol, please?
Yeah, so Carol actually was a librarian for the Flint Public Library System. She started backgammon, or started learning backgammon, because she had a meetup type backgammon event for the library that she ran with her mom. And so then people started coming to the library. They wanted to play backgammon. And she built up a mailing list, a physical, like legitimate mailing list, not email. This was before email. And all of a sudden, she had so many people that wanted to play backgammon regularly that she created a meetup at a bar in Flint. And for a while there, she would have the top division would fill up to 32, and then she'd have even more in a second division. I mean, these restaurants would actually pay the club to come to play at their venue. Um, and so she ran that. She still runs the Flint Club. And at some point, she took over the Michigan Summer Championships, and she's been organizing that forever. Which Even not just running the tournament, but she also does this thing that everybody comes to the tournament for, which is her boutique. She has books and um, cups and dice and boards and shirts and I mean everything, every backgammon memorabilia or backgammon equipment you might need, baffle boxes, scorecards, they're all there for her. She sells them all. So
She runs a fantastic tournament. I know you've obviously been there many times, whether it's playing or organizing. What has been the feedback from players about this tournament as compared to other tournaments? What do people like about it?
I think the biggest thing is the relaxed schedule. We run the tournament, the main event, over 3 days, and it's a double elimination. Similar, well, actually, the same format as LA, but just no reentries. And so that what that means is that people play the first day. They play maybe 4 rounds, maybe five, but we don't even start the last chance or what's actually called the consolation in until the next day. And so for people who win, at least a handful of matches, let's say 6 matches or 5 matches, they're going to play for 3 days. But it's a more relaxed schedule. We're not making people play deep into the night. And then if people are eliminated by like mid of day two, we have lots of trophy jackpots that we run on both Saturday and Sunday. So there's always action. There's always side events. Um, Another thing that people love is the trophies, and so we do a really cool job. Well, Carol always has with having unique trophies, which is something I've been passionate about too. So I definitely hope to keep that legacy going.
That's fantastic. People really like to have a good schedule. I've done these types of videos with many directors now over the past year, year and a half, and it's given me the opportunity to learn about certain challenges, whether it's scheduling or something else, and how to best run a tournament based on player feedback. And since then, I've started this group, the Tournament Directors Advancement Group, and I feel like that's been a great forum for people to interact with each other and share ideas. Well, I'm just learning a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's something that we all have to listen to each other and work with each other because we only get one chance per year to run our event. So if we only respond to feedback we receive once a year, we're not going to improve very quickly. So
Yeah, yeah, and it's great that one person can say, "Oh, this works really well for me," and then other people can try it.
yeah,
Um,
exactly, exactly.
so very good. So the next section are some of the featured side events. Do you want to go through it now, or when we go through the entire schedule?
Let's go through the entire schedule.
Sure.
Yeah,
So this is what people can see down here. It's the Sheraton Detroit Novi. Those are some images. We'll see the hotel. It's 25 minutes of north of Detroit Metro Airport. Travel accommodations. You can click here, and then here. This is something that's really interesting and a lot of fun. The Backgammon for Everyone Novice Workshop. Tell us about this, please.
yeah. So actually, I worked with Tom, Jane, and Julius High for the first time at Cherry Blossom a few years ago, and they wanted to run this workshop type program, and I said, yeah, sure, let's do it. And so what they do is they have this program that covers all things, kind of, to get you from a unknown, don't really know how to play backgammon at all to at least like some kind of competence level that where you could play a tournament like a novice tournament, maybe even an intermediate tournament if you've got some some natural kind of intuition for the game. And what they're able to do is once people are registered, they talk to them, they figure out what their skill level is, and they really like key in on the skills that each player needs that actually is going to attend. It's not just this generic workshop that they present every time. They actually fine tune it for the players that are there, the people that are there. And then they're just amazing characters. They just have such a good time. They play off of each other really well. And so it makes it a lot of fun. And so I've heard so much good feedback about these seminars. And with the help of the USBGF, they're they're very affordable. I think it's $120, even less if you are a youth, I believe. And so it's a great event, great way to learn backgammon. There is some play during the tournament as well, so they do actually have you kind of play off and create a like have a little mini tournament. So it's a if you especially if you have like loved ones or family that want to go with you, having them do this, I think, is just it's the perfect activity. So yeah.
It's a fantastic event. It's like a full day or sometimes 2 days depending on the event. They've done it here, and one of the things I like is, like, if you're completely new to the game, they'll teach you everything, and another thing that I really like is they have different boards from different manufacturers so you can look at them. I really enjoy playing on different types of boards. A lot of them, they're really beautiful, they have different feels to them, and they show them to the people, so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So the registration, so this is where you can register. You can click on this and the USBGF membership. So while we're here, you need to be a USBGF member to play in the main events, or how does it work?
Yeah, we actually for my events, membership is required to play anything. Even though technically the rules are that the ABT requires membership for the main event, the USBGF is something I'm quite passionate about. We've seen tremendous growth of backgammon over the last few years for various reasons, but one of those is definitely that the US Backgammon Federation is helping to cultivate the growth and the learning and the expansion. So it's something that I'm passionate about. Will have a USBGF membership representative on site. And so it's only $5 if you sign up for a month with your credit card, a bit more if you use cash, and a year is only 45. So for the same as 9 coffees for the year, you can support the federation and help us continue to grow backgammon and achieve the mission. So I definitely I encourage everybody to be a member anyway. But if they're not a member and they don't really want to become a full year member, that's okay. But they will have to become a member for the month in order to play the any event in Michigan. So
Does that also include the BMAB?
yep, yep.
Okay.
You know what? I guess I can't say that for certain because I'm not running the BMAB, but that's the intention. If you're going to play anything in Michigan, and part of that stems from these tournaments are very expensive for us to run, and so I don't, I don't really find it to be a big ask for me to just require this membership from everybody. I don't, like if you just play the BMAB, I'm not going to require you to pay the tournament registration fee necessarily, which would be another $50 or depending on what all you play. So yeah, I think the $5 is reasonable. But that said, if somebody just rolls into the BMAB and is gone by the end of the night, I'm probably not gonna catch them and have them become a member. Hopefully, they'll just do it on their own because, like I said, great organization to support. So
I agree. I was speaking with Dmitry Obukhov recently, who organizes the BMAB around the world. He was telling me about that. I've also had the pleasure of serving on the board of directors of the USBGF with you and many others. So thank you for your service. There are many benefits to being a USBGF member. You get to play in all of these ABT tournaments. There are online tournaments. There's tons of stuff on the website, educational materials. I actually created a dice distribution thing that people have access to. So it's great. And, it's great to promote backgammon. So I encourage that as well. Um, let's move on. So this is the team. So tell us about these people. Of course, we know you.
yeah, so you got me, Dan Minardi, who is the organizer and director of the Wild West Backgammon Championships. He and I work together on both of these events now. And then Butch and Marianne Meese, they have been organizing, and working backgammon tournaments for, I don't know, 25, 30 years. Their big event that they used to run was Indianapolis, and it was just this massive event that would happen on the Labor Day holiday, and it was like a Swiss system. It was one of the first, and they ended up not stopping that maybe 15, 20 years ago. But they really do a great job of helping with the Michigan tournament. And then Claire Phelps, who also, I don't know, I'll have to update her title on here because I would, even though she will mostly help us with results, she's worked with me on, I think, three. This will be the fourth Michigan tournament, and she has learned everything. I mean, she really could co-direct the tournament. She's great. So Yeah, like a full staff member, not not just a results coordinator. Although that is probably the bulk of what she'll be doing. And she'll be flying in from Colorado this year to help. Her and her boyfriend moved to Colorado and been living there, but said she was happy to come back and help. Funny enough, Dan's from Colorado too, so 40% of our staff is from Colorado.
That's great. All right. So let's continue. We'll take a moment to recognize the sponsors.
So the Flannery Backgammon Club, of course, is the club that is kind of always led this event, and then there's our logo. But just kind of going through the list, we've of course got ABT and Gammon Stuff, and Gammon Guys and USBGF. These are Gammon Stuff and Gammon Guys are board sponsors. Of course, USBGF and ABT sanction the event. We've got BMAB, which Dimitri, like you said, Dimitri runs or helps with here in the U.S. Like it's really his baby in the U.S. And he puts so much time and effort into keeping the results that people submit organized and running them. And so very thankful for him. And then we've got the Women's World of Backgammon. They're sponsoring the Women's World of Backgammon Fireworks Cup, which is going to have some added money and always a fun event. So then going through the list of other players, mostly these guys have sponsored the trophies for specific events. So Prince Barlow for the juniors. Of course, Carol Joy Cole is a sponsor because she's just built this event up and she's going to be running, or she's going to make sure the boutique happens again this year. Then we've got Mike Clapsaddle, Ed Corey, Judy Field, who her husband Than has been sponsoring the seniors event for the last since Judy passed. Steve Grobe, who is going to do shuttle services. They're paid shuttle services, but he gives us an amazing rate. So if you're flying into the airport, be sure to call Steve. His details are here on the site. Then we've got Greg Merriman, who sponsors the firework jackpots, or the firecracker jackpots. Emil Mortuck, at least in memory of him from his wife Akimi, is sponsoring the seniors. Then we've got John Perner from Gammon Stuff. We've got a historian, and last year he sponsored the Stoller amateur jackpot, and so we thank him for that. And then we've got the member Maggie Sweeney, who is sponsoring the intermediate jackpot trophy, and then Frank Talbot is sponsoring the newcomer free roll, which is an event that all people who have never played Michigan before can play for the first, like their first time. They'll get to play this event, and they're playing for $400. So it's a nice little prize. So lots of sponsors for this event.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. All right, and then the contact information is here. Now we'll look through the schedule. So this is the schedule. You can click here to download it, but we'll go through. So starts on Wednesday, July 2nd, and you have the BMAB. For those that are not familiar with it, it stands for Backgammon Masters Awarding Body. And this year, as well as last year, they first started, so they're continuing the Players Cup. You want to take a moment to explain what the BMAB is and how this specific tournament, as well as the Players Cup, works?
Yeah, so the BMAB event, the Backgammon Masters Awarding Body event, is it's similar to a kind of standard backgammon tournament where the players are trying to win the event. They're trying to win every match so that they can win the trophy. But also at the same time, we're recording every match, and with those recordings, we then transcribe them into Extreme Gammon, and people get back their rating, and they can see how well they played. And so this it's kind of a combo event where we're not just trying to win, we're also trying to play perfectly, which often goes hand in hand. But obviously sometimes you might gamble and make plays that you're not sure are correct for various reasons. And so we'll play 4 rounds of that on Wednesday, and then we will start run the super jackpot, which this is I think our third year running a super jackpot, maybe our second. So very excited to have that back, as well as the warm up that night. And so this is one of the few spots in the schedule where 2 events conflict. So someone who wants to play the super jackpot would not be able to play the warm up. But that's That's all of Wednesday, and then we move
And
on to
then
Thursday.
before we move on, do you know
Yeah.
how many points these tournaments are, the BMAB and the Super Jackpot? Do you have that decided yet?
So for the super jackpot, we're doing 13-point matches. It will be 16 players max. So this is one of the events that people need to be sure to pre-register for, along with the BMAB as well. Um, the BMAB, I actually don't recall how long the matches are. I think they're 9, but they may not be. I'll have to double check, and I'll make sure that gets added to the website. So by the time people watch this, they should be able to go find the information.
It'll be
On
on there,
the
and
website.
the BMAB is something that a lot of people really like because they get to play every single match. You're not eliminated. It's like a Swiss style format, and the fact that you can earn a master's rating from the BMAB is fantastic. They do all the transcription, and this year, tell us what the Players Cup is because this is different in the United States. They don't have this internationally.
Yeah, so the Players Cup is a point race that was started by Roberto Litzenberger, and basically we have all these BMAB events, and they're usually prior to an ABT. And what Roberto realized is that often the same people are playing all year. And we're going to events before the tournament. Some are just going for these BMAB events, and so he thought it would be fun to add a point race. And in fact, if you win one of these events outright, or if you put together enough partial wins, like if there's ties, that you effectively have won one event, then you get one of the Iron Star trophies. And I think there's only been 7 or 8 awarded so far because many of these events end in a tie. But at the end of the year, there is another trophy awarded as well as prize money for the people who get the most points. I think it's $1,000. And so last year Julius High won. I think this year Julius is doing well again, but there's a few others that have really done well in the first few tournaments of the year. And so yeah, it's I mean I actually go to multiple tournaments a year just to play the Players Cup. I can't make time for the whole weekend, but I want to participate in the points race, and I may play here in Michigan simply because it'll be one of the few times I get a chance to. So
Very good. So let's move on to day two on Thursday, July 3rd.
yeah, so day 2, we are doing something a little bit different this year. We're having the 5th round of the BMAB at 10 a.m. on day 2. Now, people are welcome to play the night before if they want, but this prevented the kind of the schedule conflict with the last round of BMAB and the super jackpot. Things are a little bit more relaxed this year. But then we get into our jackpots, and this year we're only going to have one start time for all of the jackpots. We're not going to do like multiple start times. I'm not going to keep trying to fill it. We start at noon and everybody plays, and we're just going to have buys. Now that said, the Masters won't have any buys because we always fill the 32. And so if you want to play the Masters, you must pre-register and you must do it early. We will give the Masters spots to people in order of registration. So even if we are full, make sure you register because what usually happens is I've got 1 or 2 people that don't show up at the last minute, and then we push, swap people in. But yeah, we will fill the 32. The amateur and intermediate jackpot will also start just after that at 12:07 and 12:15. Match lengths on those are 11 points for the Masters, and then 9 points for both the amateur jackpot and the intermediate jackpot. Um, After we get the jackpots going, we'll start the Judy Field Memorial Blitz. This event has the most added money of any of our events, 1350. It will effectively be a no rake or better event because of the added money. So these are fun. These are the regular blitzes where you win a bracket and then you get paid. They're 8-player brackets effectively. But one cool thing that we do is we arrange matches as people are available. And so let's say that 16 people have played in the first round and won, but a bunch of them are off playing the Masters or they're off doing the doubles or whatever. If Marianne identifies that 2 of those first round winners are available to play now, she calls them up and she sends them off to play. So rather than having this bracket where you're stuck waiting for one specific person to play against. You can play against whomever is available, and that allows you to build up your 3 wins, get paid, and then buy into the next one, and then keep doing that, and hopefully win your two qualifying spots, and then the playoff will be on Saturday, where you can then play off to win the rest of the prize money. So this is a really popular event. We almost always fill it to effectively 100 and or 256 players,
Oh,
but it's because because it's a blitz. It's hard to kind of see how we get that many, but we do because of the 8 player brackets, effectively. But then we've also got the juniors and the seniors. This is one of the most popular events as well in Michigan. In fact, all of our side events, if you like side events, Michigan's a tournament to come to, because we get people to come in early and then we just fill these side events. Marianne does an amazing job with that. Um, we do have a hospitality hour on Thursday. So part of the registration and the hospitality fee includes this food and beverages from Michigan. And what that means is we've got brands that are local brands, especially Flint brands like Kogel's hot dogs and Fago sodas. And so this selection of food and drink includes all brands like that. And so it's a really cool chance just to grab a bite, talk with your friends, enjoy some food and drink from Michigan.
a question about the juniors and seniors. What are the age cutoffs for those?
Yeah, so we do, I believe, 55, but let me just double check what we've published so I get it right. Uh, I guess I haven't published it yet. So that is one thing that I'll have to put in the on the website here when I update it with the events page. So by the time people are looking or watching this video, you will be able to check the website to see the cutoff. But I believe we've usually used 55. I'm going to keep it to whatever we did last year.
So 55 and older is the seniors, and then below that is juniors.
Yes, yeah, that's what I believe it'll be, but definitely check the website once you're watching this video, and I'll have it updated so that it's very clear what the cutoff is.
I had someone ask me one time, why is juniors 55 and under? And I told them, in backgammon, 55 and under is juniors.
I mean, we actually, like, as I say 55, I'm worried that the cutoff is too low. Like I think I might have to make it 63 or something. That way we actually can fill the juniors.
That's
So
funny.
yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah. But yeah, so that event will, I mean, the seniors will fill rapidly. It's always the juniors that we fill last.
Yeah.
Um, and then that night is the one of the other events that always fills up. And so again, pre-registration is required for Michigan. If you want to play something, you need to make sure you're registering today. You can always cancel later. It's not a problem. But doubles is one of those events. We usually have about 5 teams that get locked out of doubles because they show up at the last minute. So please pre-register. The open doubles will have 32. We'll cap it at 32. The limited doubles, we actually are, I think, one of the few tournaments that runs a limited doubles. And what that means is that neither player can be an open level player, or even just be playing in the open. I don't care if you are not actually required to play in the open. If you choose to play in the open, you cannot play limited doubles. So if you want to have a really fun time playing against like skilled players, limited doubles is a good option for that. And we'll play 3 rounds of that Thursday night, so that'll be one of the later nights, and then we'll also run another side event favorite, which is the summer freeze out. And the summer freeze out is not your standard backgammon tournament. In the summer freeze out, you don't play to a score, you play to a score differential. So what that means is the winner of the match is the first person that is leading by, I believe it's 5 points. It might be 7, but it's not that you win 5-4. If your opponent has 4, you now have to get 9 points. And this does some really interesting things with the cube take points, because now all of a sudden you winning 2 points might mean that you win the match, but your opponent winning 2 points means that now you need 4 points and your opponent needs 5 points. So it completely screws up the take points and makes for some really interesting decisions. Now, you might ask, well, can't that match go on forever? Yes, it could, except that after a few games, the cube starts on 2, and after a few more games, the cube starts on 4, and after a few more games, it starts on 8. So there is a scorecard specifically made for this event where the match will at some point just be forced to be over. Um, and it's a great event. We'll have usually 32 players in that, and it's a lot of fun. And then on site, Marianne Meese is, the staff member that actually runs this event. So she knows everything about it, and I don't know it off the top of my head. But I'll get that score sheet posted on here. It'll get linked here and in the events page, and then people can read all about it. And it's a really fun event. So I hope people check it out.
All right, then moving on to Independence Day, Friday, the 4th of July.
Yes. So on Friday, the 4th of July, we start the main event. And the main event is going to be a double elimination with a progressive consolation. We will have a Calcutta and door prizes. So if you want to win a door prize, come in, make sure you're there by 10 a.m. And then we'll have our Calcutta auction. And then once that's done, we'll actually have a lecture by Art Benjamin on the racing formula, or it's effectively, it's on effective pip count and how to determine proper cube action with effective pip count. Now that might sound a little complicated for some people if you don't know what effective pip counting is, but actually effective pip counting is pretty straightforward. It takes a little bit of practice, but it's not as hard as people want to think it is. And then once you know effective count, you can rate in a game in racing cubes. And so Art Benjamin has been studying this quite persistently, and he has some really cool things to share. And even if you don't know effective pip counting, maybe you don't want to learn effective pip counting, Art Benjamin is always really entertaining as a lecturer. So it'll be fun to watch this. And on top of that, if you do want to learn effective pip counting, this lecture will still be useful because Art is going to give an additional lecture later on in the weekend, probably Sunday morning. We're still working on the best time for it, where you can learn effective pip counting from Art himself, and that'll be probably be a smaller lecture where people are have a little bit more of an intimate connection with Art and can learn how to effectively count. So I'm very excited and very thankful that Art's going to be doing that lecture for us.
Very good. And then the main event begins.
Yep, we'll start the main event at 12:30 sharp, and we'll play a couple rounds before dinner, a couple more after dinner. We will draw the free roll after dinner, so anyone who has come to play the ABT main event, including the advanced beginners or the limited, we call it, they'll be drawn into that free roll. And it's definitely a lighter schedule, so we will play probably just 2 rounds after dinner, maybe 3, depending on how quickly people play. But don't expect to have to play past midnight. It'll be a nice, easy night.
And then continuing to Saturday.
Yeah, we'll start the consolation Saturday morning at 11 a.m. So what that means is that if you lose 2 rounds on Friday, you're done for the day, and you can just relax. You can play inside events. You can do whatever you want. And then we'll start those rounds on Saturday, and we will play all day. Saturday night, we'll have the firecracker jackpots. So these are single elimination events. They are trophy events, and it's a $200 open entry, $100 limited entry. And we usually fill these to a decent number. I think last year we had 32, but maybe it was 16. So these are like a pretty decent prize pool and worth sticking around for if you get eliminated from the main event.
And then the final day, Sunday, July 6th.
Yeah. So on Sunday we will finish up the main event, and then we'll have the Women's World of Backgammon Fireworks Cup. And so this event is an added money event from the Women's World of Backgammon sponsors. Also, again, has a cool trophy, so really cool event to win. And we'll play that at 12. We do expect the finals of the ABT main events to be happening around 2, maybe a little bit later. And then we will have an after tourney at 6 p.m. So there'll be something to do all day Sunday as well.
Very good, thank you. So the tournament procedures and conditions, people can read all of this. I'll put a link in the description, but I think the first three, the number one, the USBGF rules with the no dice on checkers, responsible moves, and clocks required except for limited ABT, and the use of two dice. That's important.
Yeah, I did want to call those out here. Michigan is one of the last tournaments that's doing no dice on checkers, and that is true for this year. So if you want to play a no dice on checkers tournament, make sure you come this year. My intention is to change it next year. So if you don't want me to change it, make sure you let me know. My preference as a player has always been, since it's changed anyway, to be dice on checkers. But I'm open to opinions. So if you really want to see Michigan stay no dice on checkers, you got to show up and let me know. Same with responsible moves. I do actually. What's funny is the player I don't really prefer legal moves that much. I mean, to me, it's kind of 50-50, but I slightly prefer responsible moves. That said, I do intend on kind of unifying the rules across what most people are doing in the ABT, which is legal moves. So we will almost certainly change that next year. So if you really like responsible moves, again, come to Michigan, tell me about it, tell me why I should leave it, and definitely I will consider it.
You probably know I'm a big advocate of dice on checkers. It's just I tell people re-rolling every time a dice lands on a checker is an outstanding way to waste time.
I agree. I agree. It is funny how we got so used to playing with the re-rolls over the last couple decades, but it's just a really good thing to not have to re-roll. And people often will they will criticize the rule because sometimes you have to get a ruling. But on average, I'll make like 3 or 4 rulings about dice on checkers in a weekend, whereas people are re-rolling like 3 or 4 times per match. So it really works out better.
Oh, it's more. I've seen more than that,
Oh,
especially
I'm sure it's more. I just like
one
it's just
person's bearing off on their right. They get happens a lot.
exactly.
And for a similar reason, I'm a big proponent of using baffle boxes, but that's another discussion. Let's move on. Um, so there was that. Let's go to the hotel. So this is the hotel. It's the Sheraton Detroit Novi, which is near Detroit, Michigan, of course.
So yeah, you can book the link online. The the hotel is still a great rate. It is a little, I think it's $10 more for a double versus a single room, but it's a beautiful hotel, and it's very walkable to restaurants and to food and grocery. So they don't have a shuttle because it is a bit far from the airport. I think I said 40 minutes earlier. We've got 25 minutes on here. It very much depends on traffic and construction, but Steve Grobe's number is there under the transfer to hotel section, and he can arrange for a transfer for you and potentially for others. He's got kind of a list of everybody who's coming in that wants a transfer, and he'll pick you up. The taxi and the ride share are 50 or more dollars, and so it's a great deal, a great service that it's a great service that Steve Grobe offers. So it's worth giving him a call or a text.
And the other link here is the registration page, which you can click on the website and it will load up. It's really easy. We don't have to go through the details, but basically you put in your contact information and say whatever you'd like to play, and then you submit. It's that easy.
Yes. Yeah. It is that easy, and I will be reviewing registrations as they come in. So if you have any, and if you have any questions about which division you should play in, be sure to contact me, and we'll talk through it, figure out which division makes sense for you.
Very good. That was a great overview of the website. Thank you for that. A couple of other questions, things we did not mention about that. It says here it's a double take backgammon event. Tell us about what is double take.
Double Take is a brand that Paul Horton, Andy Lindenberg, and I created a few years ago. The reason we wanted to create this brand is, that our priority is to ensure that player gets um, the player gets a top-notch experience, And so that includes things like the hospitality, that includes, making sure that the schedule is balanced so that people aren't playing until 2 a.m. And I think that Paul, Andy, and I have done a great job with that. And in fact, have brought on Jonathan Hardigree as really a key part of our team as well. And so that's one thing that we'll continue to do with the Michigan tournament is we'll make sure that the event has great hospitality, that we're friendly, that we make things work, we're accommodating when we can be. Obviously, with 150 to 200 people, there's a bit of chaos. There's a bit of there's always conflict in backgammon. I mean, that's just how it is. But I know that we do a great job managing that and ensuring that people have a good time and want to come back. And so, if you see a tournament that is sponsored by Double Take or that is branded as Double Take, you can be assured that me, Paul, Andy, John, that we've spent time talking about it, working through all the details, and making sure that we're set up for success, and that the tournament's not just going to be kind of a ad hoc, like, oh, we'll figure it out when it comes kind of event. That we're ready for everything that could happen. So
That's great. And the other thing that we did not go through on the website is the fact that there will be a live stream. So people really enjoy that, right?
yes, this year again we've got Dmitry Obakov doing the streaming. He has invested so much time and energy into his streaming the last 2 years. Um, Really come up with some cool technological advancements, including cameras and just everything he does. He puts his heart and soul into. So very excited to have him streaming again. He will be streaming primarily to his channel. I will also have him restream to the USBGF channel, or to kind of simul stream so that we can see some of the content there as well, especially like the finals and stuff like that. But yeah, yeah.
So that's going to be fantastic. This is always a great event that's well attended. The Michigan Summer Championships, again, July 2nd through the 6th, 2025, Sheraton Detroit Novi Hotel, run by my good friend and backgammon expert, Ben Friesen. Is there anything else that we missed or any final comments you'd like to add before we conclude the video?
Um, no, I think that's it. I hope to see everybody there and in Denver and at the LA BMAB. If this, I think this will
You're
get
going to be
published
doing
before
the
then.
BMA.
I'll
Yeah,
be
that's
running the
going to be
BMAB, so
fantastic.
I hope to see people there.
Great. Thank you very much, Ben Friesen. We'll go ahead and conclude the video. Thank you to the viewers for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know what you think in the comments below, what you'd like to see in future videos, and I'll work on it. If you love backgammon, you can become a member of this channel, giving you exclusive access to the most popular videos. Again, my book, Backgammon Backgame Strategies, is available. There's a link in the description of where you can get it. If you're interested in lessons, please contact me via email. My email address is also in the description. I look forward to seeing you in future videos, and until then, keep rolling your dice.